Hello everybody, Quiet Atheist here. Before I get into this video response, I want to take this opportunity to mention two things. First and foremost, I want to thank the individual involved for inspiring me to make this video response in the first place. She goes by the name Lee Lemon. For those of you who haven't heard of her, a link to her channel will be provided in the description below. She has a lot of good content on her channel and she works very hard with it. So stop by and give her a shout whenever you guys get a chance. The second thing I wanted to talk about for a minute is the fact that I'm going to be doing this video a little bit different. And when I say different, I mean script different. I'm going to be reading the script. Earlier today when I saw Lee Lemon's video, I felt compelled to make a video response. So I typed up a script on my laptop. Well, little did I know I was making a monstrous script. Quite frankly, I felt it was going to be impossible for me to remember the entire script. So I decided to read it to you guys instead, and to her as a video response. So with that said, let's get to the script and check it out. Okay. Lee Lemon, I discovered the video that you uploaded titled All Glory to God. Why? Again, naturally this aroused my curiosity. Therefore, it inspired me to make this video response. So here it goes. All glory to God? Why? Personally, I think that you left out a few things in your video that I would want to touch on. Keep in mind that you did do a good job with your video. However, the video itself only covered a small amount in the vast sea of despicable acts often made by theists. These are the things that often infuriate me the most. I often find myself getting sick to my stomach when I learn of these atrocities being committed by theists. Before I get into the meat of the matter, I want to mention something. During my transition from religion to atheism, I definitely was looking at any and all other possibilities. That was when I came across LaVeyan Satanism, founded by Anton Szandor LaVey back in 1966. I know that it may seem that I'm going a little bit off topic here, but it all ties together in the long run. Now, I consider myself to be a humanist. So, when I was looking into LaVeyan Satanism, I found that I had the same values as they did. That was before I stumbled across an interview with Zena LaVey and Nicholas Schreck, who are known as the first family of Satanism. In that video, Nicholas Schreck referred to humanists as being nothing more than candy-coated Christians. The first family of Satanism did not value the weak. They only valued the strong. That was the point where I decided, yep, this isn't for me. You see, I value the entirety of humanity, whether you are strong or when you're weak. I am the type of person that will pick you up if you fall down. I am the person that thinks about others more than I do myself. I care about what people think about, and I care about what they have to say. Humanity is very precious to me. We are more valuable than any conjured up fairy tales that may be created. We are priceless, and we should be treated as such. LaVeyan Satanism and Christianity beg to differ, though, which brings me to Christianity. This is a problem that I think is important to identify. Christians do not care about others. They may say they do, but they don't. They don't even care about themselves. They believe that they are worthless without their God. They believe that humanity is worthless. They believe that life has no meaning without divine intervention. So when you brought up your scenario in your video, you were correct. However, there is much more to it than meets the eye. I have seen and heard of children and young adults casted out of their so-called loving Christian families simply because they do not meet the criteria of their so-called loving God. The Christians did not care about the lives that they hurt. To this day, they still don't. Children and young adults have been thrown away like unwanted garbage. This happens to others who don't partake in their little endeavor as well. Non-family members. It happens a lot to them as well. Their sick and twisted idea about life is misinformed and flawed. They want to sit there and have their God heal their sick with prayer, yet the loved one dies as a victim of selfishness. Yet when a loved one gets better, they give all the credit to their God instead of the doctors that actually perform the task at hand. The abilities of the doctors and the entire inventory of medicine is no match for ignorance, delusion, and the sheer desire to love a fictitious character more than life itself. Many people have died in the past, present, and they will die in the future as well because of this atrocity they call religion, God, etc., etc. Many people have said that they will kill their children on demand if their God mentions such an order. In the early 1980s, a woman's clinic at Granite City, Illinois was mobbed repeatedly by fundamentalist protesters. Then the clinic operator, Dr. Hector Zavalos, and his wife Rosalie were kidnapped by a gang of men calling themselves the Army of God. The couple was held 8 days in an abandoned ammunition bunker. The captors said they'd kill both unless Dr. Zavalos pledged to stop performing abortions. He did, and they were released. In 1993, an Oregon fundamentalist named Rachel Shannon shot a clinic doctor in Wichita, Kansas. I believe that's the name. She boasted that she was enforcing God's will. She had written laudatory letters to an imprisoned pro-life killer, Michael Griffin, who had murdered a Pensacola doctor. Buried in Shannon's backyard, police found an Army of God manual filled with Bible quotes, bomb-making instructions, and a declaration saying abortion providers must be assassinated. The manual said Army of God units aren't told the identity of members elsewhere, so the feds will never stop us. They see us as a threat. That's the way theists have always seen us. They hate us no matter what. In fact, if some of the people around here where I live found out I was an atheist, they would most definitely firebomb my house. To be honest, I really do not hate the people. I hate the religion that has polluted their mind with poison. They want to take away the education of the kids because they believe that God is more important. It is only education when it involves God. They have lost sight of what is valuable. Every one of them have this one thing in common, despite the differences they seem to have. They have lost sight of the value of life. Life is nothing to them without a God. I think that Tracy Harris of the Atheist Experience said it best when she said, and I quote, "If I were in a situation where I could stop a child rapist, I would. That is the difference between me and your God. God watches and says, I am shutting that door, and you go ahead and rape that child. And when you're done, I will punish you. Hence, we are more moral than a god can ever be. With that said, I hope that you all like this video. I know I read from a script, but I wanted to read it like this and get my thoughts on paper and get them out to you guys, especially to you, Lee Lemon. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to respond to your video. I hope you enjoy it as much as I hope everyone else enjoys it. The Quiet Atheist is out. And remember one thing, guys. If you can't be good at it. Thank you again.